Good morning from Yummy Bay TV. Wishing you all well today, sending loads of love to you all as usual and hoping your day is going to go the best it possibly can. Before I go on my therapy session this morning, a much darker subject video coming up about the passing of sentence yesterday of a serving police officer. The case I'm about to talk about now falls into a complete different category. Best described by me as sad, tragic, and could possibly happen to anybody being in the wrong place at the wrong time. We are talking about a man called Jason Moore, who was convicted of a murder that he did not commit, and he has served 9 years already out of it. A bit of background about this lovely man, Jason Moore, right? Never had a fight before. Never been to prison before. Was hard working up until that. At this stage, he's even off my age, around that age group, to get a life sentence at that stage in life, having not really ever been a criminal of any kind, is altogether this case. After all my lifetime in prison of reading different men's criminal court cases, where we know, if you followed me quite some time, a lot of men passed me their paperwork, thinking that Uncle Yummy was skilled at such things, to be giving his opinion on the paperwork in front of me, from different kinds of men asking me, do you reckon I could win this case, Yummy? And me pointing out this bit of evidence and that bit of evidence, or even they might go guilty, how long will I get, Yummy? Down to that, all that kind of scenario, that I picked up this case. And after all those years in institutions, I say this is the most blatant, obvious miscarriage of justice that I have ever seen. I've got to say it. I wouldn't be taking on such things on my YouTube channel if I wasn't 100% sure. If it was 50-60%, I wouldn't put it up there, because there's always been some doubts. There's other cases going on outside. We see them on other podcasts, people's mums and that talking about their sons, but there's still little elements with me that I won't, touch, because certain things might not tie in together. This case altogether ties into 100%, right? So a bit of background without saying too much about the case. Jason Moore was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He never got out of the car, right? Like I said, life sentence, 9 years already into it. One witness who's on different sides of the road and said this bit at the court case, right? I'm not going to go into it now, changes his mind and tells somebody else this bit and that bit and that bit. This miscarriage of justice case is gathering momentum, right? So the more of you that sign this petition, right, the better this outcome will be, and it has to be. Otherwise, a man who is waking up every morning knowing that he didn't do it, and I'm going to go into a bit of that, what it feels like in there and what I've witnessed over my life from being in those places, right? So the more of you that sign it, the better it is for us. He has a lovely sister called Kirsty Moore, who's been on Liquid Bullet Production. You've seen her. It's on my community page where they're outside court with a real big movement of support for Jason Moore, obvious to the reasons why. Also, other big name figures are involved in this, and again, I reiterate, I don't believe that they would stick their necks on the line if they didn't really believe it. Yeah. So Kirsty Moore has to wake up, his sister, and every single day that she's out here, she has to think about her brother being in there suffering, his whole life on hold, and the stuff that she has to get letters and things. She has to work round the clock to get her brother out tearfully, to me, and how her life's going now. Her whole days are taken up by this until she achieves the right result out of this miscarriage of justice. Now, from what I saw throughout my life, right, in those institutions, there's been a few men over the years, obviously, with me that I'm innocent, they're innocent. They walk up and down the land, and there was one man that used to walk up and down the land, and every day he used to talk about the same thing. I don't know enough about Jason's character, whether he'd be called calm and thing. I think not, to be honest. But the extreme versions, we've gone over certain cases on Yami BTV, where cases have been highlighted as miscarriages of justice and men protesting their innocence, and they can't rest inside those four walls. It is the most difficult thing to comprehend, to have the door slammed and you haven't done it. Let me tell you why as well. He's 9 years into that life sentence. He's going to probably be asked to do courses and things like that to show, his risk has changed so he can get to a lower category and blah, blah, blah. A lot of the time, unless it's changed, you have to admit your guilt to possibly be downgraded and that kind of stuff. Well, he can't do that, can he? Because he hasn't done it. So every single day that he lies on his bed in there, he's got the letters come underneath the door. He's waiting for some kind of change. Is there going to be, is God going to answer my prayers? And you saw quite, the poem he put up. It's on my community page. How deep and profound and sad and tragic that is. The best way that he describes the way that he's feeling inside those four walls. And for me, my heart goes out obviously to his family, but more so my heart goes absolutely out for him. So we bring the movement to a higher level now, by bringing it to Yami BTV, and for him to his relationships, everything that he ever stood for, that he believed in. Again, this significantly highlights the failures of the judicial system again. With that case later on that I'm going to do with this serving police officer, again, abuse, fiddling around at court to make it look like this and twist that bit so that they're painting the picture of the story when you go on trial, when, you know what I mean? A story to fit what little bits that they got, that our juries can go, falls on deaf ears. Because you've got to get the rub of the green. You might have the wrong solicitors at that time. I don't know whether he did. But you might have the wrong solicitors who didn't say the things that needed to be said at that time. Which again now, you think, that's why you put your life in people's hands. And you think they're going to do the best they can for you and be skilled enough to be able to see right through a load of fucking bullshit. Let's get the story straight. You do that for me, you lot, all right? And do that for the Moore family and Jason himself. I beg you. I'm 100% sure on that. I'll be coming up later on to do that other case, plus much more today. I love you all dearly. Have a good day.